So what is the importance of mobility in preseason and throughout the season? How has it helped you as a player?
So mobility is vital in terms of reducing injuries, allowing you to kind of work to your optimal. So improving performance as well. It kind of lends hand in hand. You've got a bit of both. And for the lads training 5 days a week, I think it's something that hasn't been included in previous years, but going forward now is something that I think is vital for the academy players to learn about and to understand of how they can develop their bodies. They're all growing at different rates, but being mobile and being flexible and strong, it kind of will allow them to take their game to another level.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Give some sort of descriptions on those key words. So a lot of you will have heard of kind of flexibility. So flexibility is the range that you've got with assistance. So if we take a squat, for example, being able to maybe, holding on to someone else's hand or anything like that, being able to use assistance to guide you down into a squatting position to then come back up. Whereas mobility is being able to have the strength to do that whole range without assistance, so without holding on to something on the side, and being able to control that movement all the way down and back up again is vital to either then build strength upon that when we do the gym sessions with Darren, and also just preventing injuries.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it aids with core strength as well, doesn't it? This kind of stuff, these exercises.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I think a lot of players, they kind of forget the importance of core strength, and I think it's probably the leading kind of muscle or area of strength that football players need. I mean, if you look at some football players like your Sergio Busquets or Fabinho's, who are quite slim. They look slim, but they're extremely, extremely strong because they've got such a strong base core. And I think a lot of it comes from, mobility and strengthening adductors and quads, hip flexors, your abdominals, etc. So let's talk a little bit about the glute bridge.
Yeah.
So your standard double leg glute bridge. So you're pausing at the top for 2 contractions. So what kind of area is that targeting mainly? So the glutes and anything else at all?
The glutes and sort of hamstrings. It's a general a great exercise to do, and a standard double leg glute bridge. I know that doesn't give players might not have done glute bridges before, so maybe that should have been expanded slightly. But a simple Google of a glute bridge will provide a demonstration for the lads to see. So you're utilizing, like you mentioned before, in terms of core, glutes, as the name suggests, and hamstrings, and pausing at that top and really holding the pose for 2 seconds and then controlling it down. So it shouldn't be a quick up and down, up and down. It's nice and controlled. The slower, the better.
Absolutely.
Really getting a good squeeze at the top.
Yeah, so squeezing that contraction at the top is really important. That's what's really engaging those muscles. And then that really comes down to that mobility, like you said, that you are in control of your body. Because if you're doing it really quickly, or any of these movements that you're doing very quickly, they shouldn't be done quickly. They should be done controlled with a squeeze of the muscle, contracted, and then that shows that you do have control of those different body parts, and they are strengthening and getting better there. Brilliant. So
there's a few that are double leg. So example, the glute bridge that you mentioned, but then just below it, single leg glute bridge. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's single leg, which you'd probably say 99% of the stuff you're doing as a footballer, you're pushing off with one leg. So if you're constantly doing things via kind of 2 legs, whether it's a squat or whatever it might be, a glute bridge, being able to do it on a single leg is a lot more important than being able to do the double. Double's a good warm up, and then go into the single leg stuff, because being able to push off of both legs equally is just as important. So we don't want that imbalance. If we're really strong on our right side but weaker on our left, then the imbalance is there, and that's what we're going to we're going to lead to injuries, and your body starts to compensate for that.
Yes, very true. I forgot about that. How certain sides of your body will overcompensate, and that really does lead to injury. Yeah, that's a really big thing that physiotherapists talk about, is that your left leg might be stronger than your right, your glutes might be stronger on the left side, whatever, and like you said, it can overcompensate for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I think also, like, when you're doing your double, like for example, we'll take glute bridges. If you're doing double legs and it becomes easier and easier, then doing it single leg is actually showing a bit of progressive overload, because your one leg is then taking more weight of your body, so you're actually building more strength on that single leg. So it's kind of a progressive overload sense there. Brilliant, good stuff.